Joe, that was such a beautiful, gentle conversation that there was so much heart. And I'm curious, what did you enjoy most in today's coaching conversation?
Well, I enjoyed Lisa enormously. As I said, I felt very privileged to have her as my client, and that we didn't know each other. Hold on, I'm just going to switch my view for a moment. Okay. What I enjoyed was I enjoyed the metaphor. I enjoyed the balloon. And I felt that things were not it was a bit stuck in the concrete. And I felt that really, yeah, it was just an image that came to my mind, and I just wanted to see if it would resonate for her, and it did, which was great. Yeah. And we could build and create around that image.
And also that's what Lisa said about the creation. You know, the beauty of creation is such a powerful thing. And when the color of the balloon was actually mentioned, yellow, weirdly enough, I actually felt the warmth of the yellow kind of coming through.
Yeah, it's like the sun.
Yeah. That was incredible. So the other question that I had, Joe, is there's just so many questions, you know, like where do we even start?
You just take your time, Ivy.
What are you appreciating most about the transformative coaching process?
You know, I think as people, I'll tell you an experience I had yesterday, okay? I had an experience from someone who I have an enormous amount of respect for, and they called me for some advice, okay? It wasn't a coaching conversation, it was an advice thing. And afterwards, I felt so good that this person would ask me for advice. And then I started to think about it. And the natural, when our clients come to us, they want advice. They want a solution. They want us to solve it. And there's a part of us as people that feels really good to feel needed, that we can give advice, and that somebody respects us enough to want that advice. And yet when we solve the problem for our client, or give advice, or even if we don't technically give advice, we might ask questions that lead them to where we think they should be, that's not creating a generative or an internal change that's sustainable. And I think as even at the MCC level, it's something, and I think for all of us, that we fight, you know, that it's very hard for us to step back and not judge and not think that we know the best way, and just to allow the beauty to unfold in a transformational conversation. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, as you were speaking, Joe, you know, when you said sustainable change, it's the power. Actually, a thought a vision came to my mind, and a memory actually is when, as a child, my mom would always tell me, do this, do that, do that. And I was like, dragged my feet, and I was like, just have to do it without understanding as to why, what is important about me doing this. And so there was no consistency, that it wasn't lasting. And it's only when you get older you realize, oh, it's because I never thought about even asking, or to think about why this is making me feel the way it's making me feel. So it's an internal journey, and that's such a beautiful gift that we've always had, and this process definitely allows us to let it flourish.
Yeah.
So grateful for that, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
One last thing, sorry, there's always one last thing.
That's right.
Is there anything you would like to say to our audience and our friends tonight as part of the experience?
Well, I'm sure that the people who are here would have seen that I pause a lot. And it takes, sometimes I'm just not sure what I'm going to say. And I want to be intentional. So by the way, you can all come on
Join us.
Come and join us. I'm not sure. And I'm going to tell you something which I've told sometimes some of my mentees, because I think that we all are too quick. And Sarah will remember this, Sarah Devereaux. When I was early days, when I was coaching, my mind would be going so fast and so quickly that I couldn't get the words out fast enough. And when I was coaching, I would really stutter because I couldn't get my thoughts together, and I couldn't get them out. And I just slowed down and gave myself permission to reflect. And I have to say that Molly Gordon, who is an MCC, who some of you may know, she is my idol in terms of what she brings as presence, and the courage to not know. It's okay not to know, because if you're open enough to not knowing, the intentional inquiry will come.
Wow, Joe, thank you so much for sharing with us such huge life gems, and your humility and authenticity really comes through. It really is from the heart, and you can't. That's precious, and really, really am grateful for that. And I also just want to read